Reid, can you give us some tips on designing a powerful workshop?
Nope. Cathy from intimacydojo.com.
Reid Mahaka from readaboutsex.com.
However, I can teach you things and give you ideas. Maybe they occur to you as tips.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just nonsense. Hi, I'm Reid Mahaka from readaboutsex.com, but also creator of sexgeeksummercamp.com. And judging from this question, this sounds like it's a design studio question.
Yes.
Which is a 3-day workshop where we're going to geek out on workshop design and different ideas around how you create content.
Well, I really love how you've helped me with a couple workshops that I've run. And I run classes a lot, not a problem, but just a few tweaks you made, you suggested that I followed, really changed the engagement of the class. It made a huge difference. And if you're like me, it's so much about making a difference. I don't want to just teach to teach. I want to teach to change lives. And there were a couple of things that I did, and I was like, wow, this like sunk it so much deeper. And the same amount of time, same amount of effort, but it just made such a bigger impact. And I still have people texting me I was traveling at the time. People are still texting me and asking me, when are you going to come back?
What do you remember what those tweaks were? Because I don't remember things well.
It was part of it was the flow that you suggested. You had me change the flow around to let people get a little more comfortable. Because a lot of times when people first come to a class, they're like, and I teach a lot of things for shy people, but I think anyone, if they're stretching their comfort zones, can feel overwhelmed. So you had me do some specific exercises to get them to know each other and to step into the class and make the space safe.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been doing that because I tend to be shy and I don't want to make shy people feel uncomfortable. So I hadn't been doing that. And when I invited them to do it, I think all but one person participated, and that person was just like, no, I'm going to sit here quietly. I'm like, okay. But the whole room energy changed around it.
Yeah, I think, and thank you for sharing the stuff that you share. So one thing from this example that I would just say that a lot of workshop facilitators don't do is a lot of us are teachers and educators, but we're not necessarily learning nerds around how people learn.
Yeah.
And a lot of us aren't facilitation nerds in how to facilitate getting people to a space where they can learn better. And those two things actually influence how you design workshops and how you present the information that you give to people. So if you know how to get an audience into a good headspace and to feel connected so that they'll open up and be more vulnerable, and if you know how to kind of position and weave your information so that it's easier for them to understand and implement and remember, then you're just a better teacher. And this is getting clear about what those things are for you is like starts to become the how you design a workshop. And everybody, you can have your own versions of it, but I think there are some core principles that are really useful. Like, you can build a house to look a lot of different ways, but you need support walls.
Yeah.
Houses work better when the foundation's level, kind of things. Where houses work better when there's a door, at least one door in to a house, right? And again, like, I'm being corny, but I think in workshops and in workshop design and curriculum design and deliverability, there are some foundational principles that can look different, but underneath they're still the same. And when you line all those up to work really well together, then it's almost like user design, right? Where your attendees are having an experience that just helps them learn better.
Yeah. It just sinks in better in a really powerful way.
So taking the time, which feels like, oh my God, I only have 90 minutes. Why would I take 15 minutes to get my audience to share why they're there and to talk to each other? Well, the reason is they will remember your workshop better
Well, and also one of the questions you had you had me share, invite people to share, was why are you here? And a lot of people, like, they vaguely know why they're there, but if they articulate it to each other, one, I hear what you're here for, and I might be, oh, that too. But it helps me get clear on what I want, and that helps me actually absorb it. Like, it really made a difference for what people got out. And then I asked them to popcorn share. You also suggested that. And I had a better idea because this one place I was going to teach, they hadn't had a class like that before on that topic. And I was ready to, like, go for sex for the shy and awkward. And they're like, they could barely say the word flirt as they were going around the room. Like, okay, let's just cheat, let's ratchet this back a little bit. They're not going to be able to absorb this really well if I go right in deep first.
Yeah. So. And little things about, how not to overwhelm your audience. Most of us teach too much too fast. Like, we're forcing our audiences to drink from the fire hose of our geekiness. And again, that doesn't help them learn. You might impress them with your vast amount of knowledge, but if they can't learn anything, what you risk is at some point they think either they're broken or your information sucks. And especially around sex and intimacy, with so many people already feeling broken, why would you want to do that? And why would you want to impress people and then have them eventually think that your content doesn't work, and then they stop coming to your workshops, where what you can impress people with is how quickly you change their lives and what a deep impact you make.
And they go through their life carrying the new information with them.
Yeah, and then so there's some ideas on how to create frameworks that help people remember and implement your information, which when, like the safer sex elevator speech or the difficult conversation formula are things of mine. The difficult conversation formula is so easy and powerful for folks to use that they end up recommending it to everybody else. I've had people who found the difficult conversation formula recommend it to their therapists to use with other clients, and then gotten thank you notes from therapists saying, thank you for creating this module. One of my clients, shared this with me, and now I recommend it to everybody. So imagine if your workshops were filled with those little modules, that then everybody who takes your workshop then goes and shares with everybody else a particular module, or shares with their therapist your module, which is now helping more people, but also getting more people to come to your future workshops.
Yes.
So again, this is me nerding out on this stuff, but if you want to spend 3 days going deep with this stuff, that whole design studio weekend is just me sharing all of the stuff that I do.
And where can they go to find more information?
They can go to readaboutsex.com/design studio.
Yeah. Great.